Hi, my name is Daryl Brown with ChristmasLightShow.com, and I'm going to demonstrate our new ground anchors. These are shaped like an arrow, and what we're going to do is, or what you're actually going to need is probably a 3-pound hammer. I've used a regular hammer to drive these, but it just depends on how hard your ground is. Usually in the fall, because of a lot of rain in some areas, your ground's going to be soft. You can purchase one of our drive rods. These are heat treated, or you can make your own. I got some suggestions on the product page on how to make your own, but you only need one of these. So, but anyway, to drive these in the ground, you're going to just slide it in the over your arrow. And for a tree, what you're going to do is you're going to take and drive this into the ground at an angle away from your tree, because we want the arrowhead where it's going to be pulling on the arrowhead parallel to the angle of your guide wire. So what I'm going to do is just going to put it at an angle and start driving it. I'm using a 3-inch anchor, and you could take these about anywhere, probably about 1.5 feet down. It's going to have a 2-foot cable on it, and this cable it's used to hold your guide wire. So you could take it down, 1 foot or 1.5 feet. It just depends on how you feel, how comfortable you feel with it. Of course, the taller tree you go with, the deeper you want it. Say for like a 10-foot tree, I'd say anywhere 12 and below, you need to go with 2-inch anchors. On the website, it'll tell you how much it'll hold, but most of us use, I'm not going to say most of us, in my past, I've used, like 10-acre anchors or stakes. And the bad thing about them is if you ever experience high winds, you just never know when they're going to come, and most of the time they come in the middle of the night. So this is one of the reasons I recommend these. And these were actually designed not to come back out of the ground. It was more for a permanent installation, but I added an extra cable on it, and it's for pulling it back out. What I did was put a hole on the tip of the arrowhead, and then at the end of the season, when you're ready to pull it back up, you're going to take a 10-foot pipe. It's most likely you're going to have a 10-foot pipe, especially if you're using one of our pole stands, and you're going to use that as leverage. And what it's going to do is when you pull this back up, it's going to point the arrow back up towards coming out, and that will help it penetrate the dirt coming back up. Then once you get it in, you're going to take and you're going to pull this back towards you, or back towards the angle of your tree, and you're actually going to pull the cable back through the dirt. It's going to slice it, but I'm not going to be able to pull this out. And like I say, for most of us that use just small stakes, these are really good for them days when you get high winds. I've always say there's no such thing as overkill, and I'll show you a picture here The picture I'm showing you is a picture of a customer that built a pole in concrete, and it was, I believe, 27 foot high, and he used 2-inch pipe. I believe he used 2-inch water pipe, which is pretty thick metal, and he did not guide wire it. And I always recommend, no matter what you do to guide wire, I don't care how secure you have it in the ground, if the wind's going to use the top of your tree where all the lights come together, that's the wind's leverage. And this picture here shows you proof what the wind could do. It just bent this one straight to the ground. So guide wiring is a little bit of hassle, but it's a bigger hassle when you got a tree that's down and you have to put it back up. But I'm going to get a piece of pipe here, and I'm going to show you how to pull this right back out. Okay, before I pull this anchor out, I just want to show you what you do to guide wire it. You're going to have a loop here. This is already a crimped loop, and you're just going to pull your guide wire through. This one here is a little bit longer than I need for the demonstration. Okay, once you get to all your slack out, you're going to use a rope clip, and then you're just going to loop this through the other, and then tighten up your rope clip. And you want to pull all the slack out you can. And if it's your first guide wire you're putting in, it's okay to leave it a little bit sloppy because you'll pull the slack out from the other. But just get it as snug as you can, and then tighten it down. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to remove the anchor. Most likely you're probably going to do it at the end of the season, probably depending on what area of the country you are in, when things thaw out. Most likely you're going to have, especially using one of our pole stands, you're going to have either a 10-foot or 20-foot tree, and you're probably going to have a 10-foot piece of pipe. This is black water pipe, and like I say, on the arrowhead, you'll come with a rope clip, and you can make the loop as big as you want so you can fit whatever you're using for leverage. And I don't have a spade here, but that's one suggestion, is just take and jab your spade down in there and just wiggle it to where you think the point of the arrow is, and that'll help. Instead of the arrow breaking the earth, it'll help you breaking the earth and make the pathway easy. So you're just going to basically try to get as much leverage as you can. You're going to get underneath, and then just lift. Now moving up. And it's going to break the earth, but you could just stomp it back down. But that's pretty much it on the anchor. Like I say, you can read a website, and it'll tell you about different soil types, where you can learn what kind of hold you're going to get, depending on whether you use the 3-inch or the 2-inch. And like I say, there's no such thing as overkill, because every other year or so we seem to get everybody gets the same high winds come through, and they can be disastrous. Say the wind's going to do whatever it wants to do, but we just try to do the best we can. But thanks for watching. Have a great season.